An even number is 500 when rounded off to the nearest 100. What is the greatest possible value of the even number? All right. So when you read this, an even number is 500 when rounded off. All right. So that means this 500 is the rounded value, not the actual value. Okay, it's rounded value. All right. So it's already the rounded value. So now what you are trying to find is you're trying to work out the greatest possible actual value of the number, and it must be even. Okay, that rounds off to give you 500. So what it means is that you have a question mark you want to work on, rounded off to give you 500. Okay, so for such a question, it's a bit more challenging. It's not going to be a direct rounding off question. Okay, so I hope you recall that what we have taught you in class is to apply the number line method for such questions. Okay, so we're going to draw a number line. All right, so to draw a number line, in this case, you have 3 points. Okay, I'm just going to erase this since it's taking up the space there. Okay, so 500 will be in the center. So whatever rounded value will lie in the center here. Okay, because you can have small values that rounds up to give you that 500. You can have bigger values on the right-hand side that rounds down to give you 500. So that exactly is what we're trying to figure out, right? The actual value. Okay, so rounded value you put in the center. Now, and the two ends, how do I know what to put at the two ends? So what I put at the two ends depends on this. When they say rounded to the nearest 100, that means my interval here should be a difference of 100. Simply means that this number must be 100 less than this number must be 100 more than the center one. Okay, so this one will be 400 then. The other side will be 600. So it's a difference of 100. All right. Now the next thing is we are going to introduce what we call the midpoints. Okay, so midpoints use a dot to represent. Okay, so these two big dots. Now, and we are going to find out the value of these two dots. So this value is between 4 to 500, right? So that's 450. This one will be 550. All right, so you have all the values laid out. So 3 points, 2 midpoints. Now, next thing is, now ask yourself, what do midpoints do? Do midpoints always round up or do they always round down? So I believe you should know that midpoints always round up. So you can draw an arrow to show them rounding up. Once this is done, you can start to figure out your greatest possible value of the even number. So greatest even number that helps you round to 500. Now, if you want something great as possible, your focus now is on this right-hand side. That means now we don't care about left-hand side already. Let's focus on the right-hand side here. Okay, so on the right side, let's look at the midpoint. This midpoint, will it be the greatest that rounds down to 500? It will not be, because this midpoint, remember, it rounds up to 600. So I need something lesser than 550 to help me round down to 500. But yet that number lesser than 550 must be as big as possible, right? Okay, it must be as big as possible, which in this case, it should be somewhere right before the dot. And I hope you can tell that will be one lesser than 550, and that will be 549. So 549 will be the greatest possible value that rounds down to 500. Okay, now, however, like I said, we need even number. And 549 is not an even number, right? All right, so we still need something, one lesser than this in order to make it even number. So that will be a 548, because 549 is not even. So just now it's minus 1 because I need one lesser than 550. But 549, since it's not even number, we need to minus 1 again. And that'll be 548. Okay. Now for the next question, which is the best estimate for 55 times 42? Okay, when they say best estimate, they are not expecting you to calculate this out. All right, so when in this case, best estimate means you round this off to the nearest whole number. Now, how do I round to the nearest whole number? So if you look at these two digits, they are all double-digit numbers. So double-digit numbers in this case, you have to round off to nearest tens. I mean, that's all you can round off to. You can only round to your nearest tens and nothing else. Okay, so 55, let's round this off. So 55 nearest tens will be you see, 5 is so nearest tens, you underline your tens place. Look at the neighbor on the right-hand side. Neighbor is a strong number. 5 onwards is a strong number. So it's a strong number, so it will help the underline place to level up. So the underline one becomes 6. Everything else behind the underline one turns to 0. Okay, this is your rounding off for 55. Now we're going to do the same for 42. Tens place. Ask ourselves, neighbor, weak or strong? Neighbor 2, right? It's a weak number. So if it's a weak number, can it help 4 to level up? No, it can't. So 4 will stay as 4. And everything else behind the underline part turns to 0. So simply, can you see that will be your 60 and your 40, the nearest best estimate. So 60 and 40, 60 times 40 will be your final answer for this.